Hello, welcome to Healing with podcast. I am Marissa McDevitt, your host, mindset coach, mentor, and founder of Healing Center. Tired of all the BS? So was I. This podcast is my raw, unfiltered take on life, sharing my personal experiences, lessons, and healing practices that helped me break free from the cycles that no longer serve me. I'm just an average woman who decided to stop settling and start speaking up. Here we dive deep into the messy, beautiful, and sometimes painful realities of life, business, and relationships. No fluff, no judgment, just real talk, real growth, and real transformation. This is a safe space for anyone, women, men, and all the beauties in between. So who's ready to raise their standards, heal, and step into their power? Let's learn, grow, and evolve together. Now tune in and let's talk about it. Welcome back, y'all. Today's episode, we're going to unpack what it really means to hit rock bottom or feel like you're starting over, and how these moments are actually invitations for an energetic spiritual upgrade. I'm going to share a few personal stories of me leaving a job that no longer aligned with me and the immediate, and I mean immediate, shift I felt once I honored my truth. I'm going to explain how to recognize when it's time for a spiritual shift, how to move through it and trust, and why temporary jobs and transitions are simply stepping stones to your purpose. So if you're ready to stop resisting and start rising, this one's for you. I would love to share a few common feelings about feeling like you're at rock bottom or feeling like you're starting over again. And this has happened to me quite a bit, honestly, especially with different chapters in my life and not really understanding. And then I go into this like draining wormhole of victimness and misery within my own thoughts and my own emotions and my own self. However, really, when we learn to reframe all of it, it's really not about failure or rock bottom or starting over. It's actually a spiritual realignment. So what does that mean, Marissa? I'm going to give you a little example. Just recently, I was in Sedona at a mastermind class. I was there for a week with entrepreneurs, business owners, what are they called? Influencers. You name it, they were there. Very spiritual people. We had mediums. Inner child work. It was like deep spiritual awakening people. It was very powerful, emotional, spiritual, amazing. I have known, right, that I'm going to be leaving this job because I am moving to back to Wisconsin for a few months to do some work up there. And I kept dragging this job out just because it has been, paying my bills, barely, but it's been paying the bills. But it's definitely not in alignment to what I'm supposed to be doing, to what I want to be doing. However, it is a stepping stone to get there. So the energetic shift for me was when I came back from this retreat, and before this retreat, I was having it was misery driving to this job. It is summertime here in Arizona. It is extremely slow. And the shifts that I had at this restaurant were day shifts, which is already slower. You always want to work night shifts if you're in the industry usually. However, during winter, it was fine, got me through. My sacred schedule was perfect, so it worked out. Now that it's summer, it is extremely slow and just absolutely draining to go there because I can be doing so many other things with my job. After I came back from this retreat, I was absolutely fired up. It was with Erin Doughty and Victor Odo. They're my life coaches through Conscious Coaches Academy. And it was a live event there, so they taught us for 3 days. It was amazing. Being in that energy and then coming back here Do you really think you want to go back to a job that you're barely making any money and you could totally be doing full time in your own purpose? So I was supposed to stay for a whole another month at this job, and the day I got back, it was taking everything I had just to get in the truck and drive to this job. And I got there and I was in this shitty mood with this low energy because I didn't want to be there and I knew it was going to be slow and I could be doing all the other blah blah blah. So instead, I told my boss, because she asked me about a specific date. And I said, actually, I'm not going to be here then. And she said, what do you mean? And so I gave her, my 2 weeks. I said, it's not worth it for me to stay here. It's summertime. You guys can do it. You got this. I got to get out of here. It's draining my soul. So she agreed. She understood. The next day I come back and I said, actually, listen, I can't even finish out the 2 weeks. I'm giving you one more week and I'll work one day the following week because I have so much to do at home. Meaning I have so much energy and motivation to be diving into my work that it is literally a spiritual realignment that I'm stepping into and embodying what I'm here on this planet to do. So when I told her that, oh my gosh, I was excited to be there. I was smiling again. It felt like so much crap was lifted off my energetic field. And I was like, it's time to go. Like I just felt it deep down. So that's what I mean by a spiritual realignment or an energetic shift. When you tap into what you're truly supposed to be doing and what feels right, the amount of energy that comes off you is insane. However, I still felt like I'm starting over again. Here I am again, starting over. And then I got back in this victim mindset like, oh, what if this doesn't happen? What if this doesn't happen? Or, should I have done that? Was that the right move? And when you trust yourself and you're knowing, yes, it was the absolute right move. It was such a right move that I told her I can't even finish out the 2 weeks. I got to dive into what I'm doing at home. Temporary jobs have supported me while I still am walking my path and my purpose. So this was a temporary job that I picked up. It was very close to the house. It worked with my schedule at the time during school and when my, fiance was home and whatnot. It aligned with both of our schedules. As I was still, before I would go to work, I was working on my business. When I would come home from work, I was doing coaching calls, doing Reiki sessions in between, all the things. So if you have to pick up temporary jobs to support you a little bit while you're still building your business or your purpose, that is okay. Understand that you're not there forever. That's the most important thing. I used to show up to my jobs knowing I'm not going to be here forever, so I have to show up every day and do the best that I can and be the most positive person and the best sales because I knew that I'm not going to be there forever. I know what my true purpose is. So I know that these are temporary stepping stones while I'm still walking my path. And it is such an energetic upgrade while you're at this job that you really don't want to be at. And the minute that I made that shift at work with giving the 2 weeks notice, I felt lighter. I felt like I could breathe again. I felt tapped back in. I was back to my happy, beautiful, positive self. And I got more people coming in the door. That's how it works. So let's talk about 3 signs you're ready for a spiritual shift. 1, your energy feels drained even when you're doing nothing wrong. 2, you feel like you're outgrowing your environment, relationships, and job. 3, you hear the inner whisper, There's more for me than this. What did I say when I was walking? I couldn't even get in the car sometimes because I felt so drained to drive to that job. But the job was doing nothing wrong. I was doing nothing wrong. It was a stepping stone. I just felt absolutely drained. Definitely knew that I was outgrowing the environment and job because I was fully stepping into my purpose, especially coming out of this mastermind week in Sedona. I'm amped up. I'm ready to go full time. And it's like an inner knowing. When I say you hear the inner whispers, there's more for me than this. For my example, it came to a point when I was at work and I was like, my time is way more valuable than the amount I was making. I would rather stay home and go full time on my purpose. Hey, my beautiful soul fam. I'm jumping in with an exciting announcement that you don't want to miss. I'm launching a 10-week transformational soul alignment shift program running from August 4th through October 6th. This isn't just another wellness program. It's a powerful soul-centered transformation journey designed to help you align and realign with your highest self, shift your mindset, heal deeply, and truly raise your vibration mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. This program is for men, women, and parent and children who are ready to break free from limiting powers and align with their most magnetic energy. Anyone called to try holistic healing, this is your chance. Here's what you'll receive inside this sacred 10-week container. 5 one-on-one deep dive conscious coaching calls with me. 3 live group sessions, Reiki session, personal tarot card readings, a 2.5-hour closing workshop to celebrate your transformation in person with everyone in the program, chances to earn points and win bonuses like extra Reiki sessions, tarot card readings, mystery gifts, and gym meetup sessions with me. A complete 10-week self-guided course packed with meditations, journal prompts, workouts, and soulful exercises for your inner evolution. There is 2 bonuses. Yes, 2 bonuses with this program. Do you live in Wisconsin? This is your chance to work with me in person. I'll be in Wisconsin during this program. If you're near Madison, Baraboo, Dells, or Reedsburg area, this is your chance. Not in Wisconsin? I've got you covered there too. This is a virtual version of this program so you can join the journey from anywhere in the world. My last bonus is I am looking for parent-children clients as well. Yes, this will run a little different than the main program due to me personalizing it to each client situation. I'm called to help parents and children become closer again, more connected, and more loved. If your child is moving toward the rough side of life, I'm here to help align and realign them back on track. Pre-registration is now open. Spots are limited, and this is a one-time in-person offer, so don't wait. Message me directly, check the link in the show notes to sign up. Let's raise together in alignment, power, and love this August in Wisconsin. Now let's get back into today's episode. So let's talk about a few ways to move through it and trust the process. So you want to honor the signs without judging the discomfort. Let yourself feel the shift without forcing clarity. Take aligned action, even small steps. Giving your notice, signing up for that class, journaling every day are some examples. So taking aligned action. I went to my mastermind class. I've been working on my business before and after this job, and finally came back and gave my notice. That's a small step. Signing up for the mastermind class, that's a small step. Journaling and meditating every day, that's a small step into alignment. Taking aligned action to your purpose. So build trust in the universe through daily grounding practices, meditations, nature walks, affirmations, mirror work, all very important. Just going outside, I went on, 3 or 4 hikes in Sedona, and I made content, and I was hiking with, other business owners and like-minded people. It was so powerful. Meditating, I always do a guided meditations in the morning. Joe Dispenza's awesome for this. Aaron Dottie's awesome for this. Affirmations, for those of you who know me, I used to listen to affirmations for multiple years straight. Mirror work, I'm just now getting into this. This is very powerful stuff. So those are all ways to build trust in the universe through your daily practices. A good way to look at all this stuff is to reframe all these thoughts. And that those jobs were funding my soul's journey. Right? That's a beautiful way to look at it. When you're in a job that you don't care for, but you're not going to be there forever, so you're just going to milk it out for a little bit. Just remember that that job is funding your soul's journey. And this doesn't define you. It just supports the next chapter. Huge. And it's very common and it's very normal to feel like you're at rock bottom and you're starting over when you might not have money for your bills next month. When you just broke up or had a terrible breakup in your, relationship. Or, a divorce, you lost your house, etc., etc. Those can all feel like you're at rock bottom or starting over, but there is always a bigger comeback. There's always a bigger comeback. And what you need to do is really embody honoring yourself and letting you feel what's shifting. Because you have to embrace the feelings and emotions so you know how to handle it better the next time. Because that's what life is. It's a lot of ups and downs, ups and downs. There's always highs and there's always lows. That's life. You have to get in the embodiment of, so what if it does, so what if it doesn't? If you get in that embodiment, if you get into that embodiment of trusting yourself, trusting the path, what are you here for? Everything will always work out. So even though I put my 2 weeks in and I felt this huge energetic shift and I'm like, yes, I'm going in all in on my purpose, I still felt like, oh man. I feel like I'm starting over again. I have barely any money to make it to Wisconsin. I have, all the things start to come in. However, learn to reframe. And you have to start in your thought process. So every day is another chance. Every day that you feel like a lack thought come in, reframe it. It's a spiritual realignment. If any of this is aligning with you, resonating with you, drop it in the comments. Tell me what spiritual shifts you're feeling. Tell me how you're reframing your thought process on embodying your true alignment with life. Let me know. Drop it in the comments. I would love to hear. When we release what's misaligned, we open the door to miracles. I'm going to repeat that. When we release what's misaligned, we open the door to miracles. Amen to that. And the affirmation I want to end on today is, I trust that starting over is a return to my soul. I am supported, I am rising, and I am exactly where I need to be. And with that being said, much love and have a beautiful day.